And welcome back to the Legal Law channel, where today we're going to discuss fishing rights in Ireland. So stay tuned. Now here you can see fishing rights in Ireland. There's some rivers here, in Connemara especially. You can see wild salmon here, they run up from the sea. They make a run up here from the sea. It's a bit foggy now today, but you do need a permit and a license for such rivers when you're fishing for salmon or even trout. Some of these is privately owned land or government owned land or some hotel owned land, but either way you need a permit, and it costs usually per the day. You pay per day, and you do need a salmon license, also an annual salmon license. Now the season starts, I suppose, around from maybe March, April, something like that, but just keep in mind that you do need a license for each district as well from where you're fishing. So this is the west coast of Ireland, you need a license for that district. If you want a license for all districts, well then you choose that license in your application. As you'll see here now, as I said, this is Screeb Fishery, and you do need permits, and you can see they're available here at Screeb House. So it is a privately owned river, and this is where you get your permits for fishing for the day usually. You see the rules of the wild salmon fishing and the wild salmon and sea trout. This is the license that you need for sea trout and wild salmon in the, so for example, this is the River Corb, Galway in Ireland. So you need this license for sea trout and salmon. Now further up the Corb, you can fish for salmon free, but in some parts, whereas this is the rules you have to pay by. You have to buy this license. It's €70-ish a year, and it allows you to fish for wild salmon and sea trout, but you do need a permit for different parts of rivers in Ireland. Each where might have a different price tag and different permit. And as you can see, you can catch a bag limit of 10 salmon, any size, sea trout on rivers where you may catch and retain the salmon. Now some salmon are catch and release only, and some rivers are fly fish only. We'll show you one of these rivers soon. But see, as you can see here further, the daily bag limit from the 1st of January to the 11th of May, you can only catch one salmon of any size, as this is just the new season. So the first salmon caught is usually donated to charity. But anyway, after this, from the 12th of May to 31st of August, 3 salmon or sea trout per day. And then after, from the 1st of September, the season does close. And note here, please note it is an offence to kill any sea trout in the following waters. So sea trout is a protected species here in Ireland. Some rivers you can fish for sea trout, you have to release them. So for example, in Galway, Connemara, Balnakill Fisheries Districts, at the Sea, Hags Head in County Clare, the Clew Bay, Achill Head, Curry District, you also must release the sea trout in certain rivers. Curry District, as we said that already, or rivers where we catch and release is permitted. Anglers may not use worms in some rivers, so some rivers do not allow you to use worms. As I just said, you can only use flies to fish for salmon, and worms are not used, and even shrimp are not used in some rivers here in Ireland. So that is a note about the law. And also anglers must use single or double barbless hooks. So therefore some rivers you're not permitted to use a double or a triple hook, where example you might use to put shrimp on, and yeah, that is not allowed in some rivers. All this is explained in when you get your license from the Fisheries Board. So as I said, the fish must be handled carefully and should not be removed from the water prior to release. But also there is a blue tags that comes with this license, and you must tag the fish straight away when you catch it, or if the bailiffs do come down and catch you, you will face heavy penalties and could even get a ban off the river. See, this is Salmon and Sea Trout Angler Regulations 2022, and it's from Inland Fisheries Ireland. And we open the book here, and it does state a lot of rules and regulations. The prohibition on rod caught salmon and trout. Anglers are prohibited from selling salmon of any size or sea trout. So therefore you must keep the salmon for yourself. You must not sell it, so it's for yourself and the family. You return the logbooks and unused tags to the fisheries, and they must be returned by the 19th of October of each month of that year. So also your logbook here, as it says, you get a logbook with the permit, and you have a logbook in your possession while fishing for salmon, for sea trout. So the bailiffs come down, you should have this permit when you're fishing for salmon or sea trout. You have to have it on you, or else there is a fine, or also you could further details, you could be banned at the river or even brought to court. You must record all details of the catch in the logbook immediately after tagging the fish. Make a catch record even if the fish is released. Record details of any lost or damaged tags. Declare lost or damaged tagged logbooks to Inland Fisheries Ireland. Now, as a result of this, if you don't declare it, you can also face a ban off the river. If you don't tag the fish straight away after you catch it and bailiffs come down, well, then you could also face a court summons or be banned again off the river. Now, as we see, you can obtain a license. Anglers can obtain the license from Inland Fisheries Ireland online. And as you will see, this is an example here of a permit here obtained from Galway Fisheries. So you can see here the price tag is €65, and that is for just one part of the fisheries. And it does give me entitlement to fish here for 4 to 5 months. So that is one part of the fisheries, but not the main salmon, where the fee can go up to 120 per day. Here we see the salmon and rod license. So it's for the Galway Fisheries. We got it in 2022. We had one in 2023, 24, but the price then was €64. It's gone up a small bit. Like I said, I think it's around €70. But yeah, I think the price is around €70. So that is your salmon and rod license. The example of what you must write in when you catch a salmon. You must write in the date, the river, lake you caught it, what bait, county, species, you tick the box, salmon, what bait you used, or did you catch a sea trout, is it catch and release, you have to release it if it's catch and release, the weight of it, the lure used, the tag code and number must be written in. Each tag has a code on it, and that must be written in also. And here you will see that sea fishing is perfectly legal here in Ireland. Now, you can catch mackerel, bass, pollock and such, but some species are protected, like the sea trout. As I mentioned earlier, the sea trout has to be released as it is an endangered fish. Here you'll see an example of some of the wide Atlantic Ocean fishing, which is absolutely pristine and looks absolutely amazing. It's a great spot. This is Achill, and it's a great place to catch mackerel when the season is in. Also, you may catch bass, fish for pollock also, without the need for a license. We see an example now of the Galway Fisheries, where fly fishing is only permitted, but you can fish in some pools with shrimp, but mainly the beach consists of fly fishing only for salmon. Also, we'll see here Ashley Falls, which is in Lenann, County Galway, another example where fly fishing only is allowed. We see the longest river in Ireland, which is the River Shannon here in Athlone, and it is perfectly legal to fish for brown trout, and also you can fish for perch and pike, and you don't need a license whatsoever to fish for these fish. I hope that gives you some insight into the fishing rights here in Ireland, and I hope you enjoy your fishing, and do join me again for more great videos. Click the like button, subscribe, it's absolutely free and helps me make more good videos. Thanks.